Good afternoon. Let me just make sure that I am indeed live. And that looks like a yes. Very good. Good afternoon. Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. I want to thank you for joining me today. And I'm just going to apologize up front. We have construction vehicles on our street, and I'm just waiting for the dogs to notice and start barking. So if you hear lots of commotion, that is why. Hey Akiko, thanks so much for joining. I was just saying we've got some construction vehicles. The water company is on the street, and with big construction vehicles. So I suspect that the dogs will notice here shortly and start making a racket. So my apologies. Oh, goodness. So today I have a Mother's Day card, and I've used quite a few products to create this card. And I'll share those with you here in a moment, but I just am loving the Berry Burst and Bubble Bath and White together. Hey, Tara Beth, thanks for joining. Apologies if you hear my dogs barking. We've got some construction vehicles on the street. And if I try to pin them up, they will just like scratch the door down. So I'm kind of stuck. Hey, Faith, thanks for joining. So I'm just really loving these pinks, the Berry Burst and the Bubble Bath, and then the white together. And if I hold this up just a little bit closer, I've got some multicolored flowers here that I've stamped, and I'm going to share with you how I did that. I actually got the idea from the catalog for this stamp set, so kind of fun to do. So let me set this aside, and I'm going to share the products with you. Hey, Mary, thanks so much for joining. So I am using the Bold Bouquet stamp set and dies, and I'm actually just using, the large flower and the leaf image out of the stamp set, and then the coordinating dies for those. I have also used the I'm calling it the crosshatch embossing folder, and that is from the Basics 3D embossing folder set. There are 3 embossing folders in this set. This is an online exclusive. I love, love, love these embossing folders. And then I needed some sentiments, right, to create my Mother's Day card. So I pulled out the Best Family Ever stamp set, and I'm just using the single stamp out of here that says Mom. And then I love the sentiment from Share a Milkshake stamp set, Life is Sweeter with You. And I just think that, I don't know, I think it's such a nice sentiment for a mom, because definitely our moms are special in our lives. Yeah, the embossing folders are really awesome. And then I used, which I use these all the time, the Stylish Shapes dies. These are wonderful dies to have in your collection. And I used the second to smallest circle die from the Stylish Shape die set. And I kind of always say this in my blogs, but if you don't have something to create a particular project I might be showing, improvise, make it your own. That's what makes it fun. So I'm going to get a little bit of stamping out of the way here first. Let me grab all of my pieces that I need for that. And let me grab a scrap piece of paper here. I like to try to keep my grid paper as clean as possible. It doesn't usually last too long, but I try. But let's start off with stamping our flowers, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. And so I'm going to grab some bubble gum and Berry Burst ink. And let me get these open. And you're going to need something to clean your stamps with. I've got my wet chamois here that Stampin' upsells. So this is the large flower image, and I am going to stamp that flower image in Bubble Bath ink. So this is a lighter ink. And then I am going to take a sponge dauber, and I'm going to just dip that into my Berry Burst. And I'm just going to tap this around the very edges of the flower here. And then I got one more color I'm going to introduce as well. So we can go ahead and, you know what, let me just stamp this right on the inside panel, and I'm going to stamp it here in the corner. And I'm just giving that ink kind of a minute to soak into the paper. There we go. And then I am going to take a separate sponge dauber and some crushed curry ink. And I'm going to just lightly pick up some ink from that stamp pad. And I'm going to brush, kind of dab, kind of brush the crushed curry kind of where it will meet the darker of the pinks, the berry burst. So it just gives it kind of multicolor, if you will. But I think the effect is really pretty. Hold it up there for a second. Stop moving it around so I don't make you dizzy. But anyway, I think that is quite pretty. Now, I'm going to stamp this also on my envelope front. But what I need to do first is I need to clean this stamp off. If I don't, I'm going to contaminate my bubble bath ink with this darker pink ink. So make sure if you're doing this that you clean your stamp off before you stamp again. Really important. And then I'm just kind of blotting that stamp down to dry it off a bit. And then I can ink it again in the bubble bath ink. Get my sponge dauber that I used for my berry burst. And just come in and just dab that around the edges. Tara, I really enjoyed your video the other night. I actually was able to stay awake. There we go. Now I'm going to stamp this down in the lower front corner. And Akiko, I was looking for your video on Sunday and I couldn't find you. So I'm not sure if you did one. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some crushed curry and just treat this flower the same way. Now I've got 3 of these flowers on my card front. I have already stamped and ink blended those, so they're actually all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and close up the crushed curry. I'm done with that. And close up the bubble bath ink. And I'm going to, I have a sentiment to stamp. I'm going to stamp my inside panel first. And that is Life is Sweeter with You. And I'm going to stamp that in Berry Burst. Just pull this towards me just a little bit. And hopefully I stamp straight. I pretty much have to get on top of these to see them well. Yeah, looks good. I'll take it. Alrighty, so that is the inside panel done. And we've got the envelope just about done. Oh, no, not done. Not done. I'm fibbing. I'm going to stamp the smallest leaf from the Bold Bouquet stamp set. So this very tiny leaf. Now, I will tell you that this Lost Lagoon ink pad, the Berry Burst, all the newer colors or the returning colors are new for me. So these stamp pads are very, very juicy. And you want to avoid smashing down your stamp into the ink pad when they're brand new. Ask me how I know. But I am just going to ever so lightly tap that stamp onto my ink pad. And just going to stamp a little leaf here on each side of this flower. lightly stamp. Yeah, I was having trouble with the leaf stamps from this set, and just, you know, just a word of caution. Don't jam them down on your ink pad. Otherwise, you're going to be getting unwanted results for sure. I'm going to set that aside. That's done. And let's do the same to our yeah, I like this technique, Akiko. Sorry, my comments are not scrolling. Oh, you had to skip Sunday. That's why I didn't see you. I was looking for your video. Oh, you store your ink pads upside down, Tara. That's interesting. And that helps? Yeah, I could give that a try and see if that does help, because I tell you, they are super juicy. Okay, now I can see, you may not be able to see it, but I can see that I got ink in an unwanted area. So I'm going to clean that off because I know with these particular stamps, I don't know if it's just the stamp set or what, or it's just because the ink pads are so juicy. If I don't clean that off, it's going to transfer in an unwanted space. So it's just as easy to clean your stamp and start over. Also, another word of warning, because when the ink pads are new and so juicy, you definitely want to give these darker inks time to dry, because they just take longer. The darker pigments always take longer. All right, so that is the envelope done in the inside panel. And one more thing here with the Berry Burst, and that is to stamp the word Mom onto my small circle here that I've pre-die cut using the Stylish Shapes dies. Yeah, I'll definitely give that a try, Tara, and see if that helps, because man, oh man. You know, I'm just going to stamp this and make sure. Okay, I think we're good. So I guess the dogs forgot that they saw a big truck. Whew. They are just so noisy, I can't even tell you how noisy they can be. All right, now I can close my inks up. Excuse me. And we can go ahead and work on putting the card together here. So I've got a few things. Get everything sorted here. So the very first panel that I am going to add to my Berry Burst card front, and this is a top fold card. So this is 11 by 4 1/4, and it is scored at 5 1/2 inches to make the top fold. I like these. I like the top folds. And this is the panel that I have already embossed. So let me grab my glue and we can go ahead and let me make sure I am putting it right side up. You do have a wrong and a right side when you emboss a piece of cardstock. So you want the raised portion to be on top or not. You know, sometimes, actually I've seen people turn embossed panels around because they prefer the opposite side. So I guess whatever works for you is the message there. And I want to center this panel top to bottom and left to right and get it as even as I can before I totally mash it down there. And I think, just move it up slightly. I think that looks pretty good. And I am going to adhere. This DSP came from the delightfully, I always forget the name, Delightfully Eclectic 12 by 12 Designer Series paperback. There are so many fun designs in that pack of paper. It is an extremely large pack of paper, so it will last you a good while, but lots of really fun designs. And I fell in love with the pink stripe, for sure. So, whoop. So this is why I like glue. And make sure that that looks fairly straight. Let's see if I can smush it up here on the one end. Yep, a little bit. All right, very good. All right. And then I'm going to grab some Stampin' Seal, and we are going to wrap a little bit of ribbon around this striped panel here. And I've already got a piece cut for that. This is from the Sheer Ribbon Combo Pack. And this combo pack comes with the Bubble Bath Lemon Lolly, and I forget the name of this color. Let me see here. Oh gosh, I can't see it on my Azure Afternoon, maybe? Is that Azure Afternoon, if you guys know? But anyway, you get the 3 spools, nice soft colors. And I love, the ribbon is tinged, has silver stitching on each side, so you get a little bit of shine in the ribbon. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. And it ties really well. I really like how it ties. So I am, you hush, I hear one of the dogs getting no. They're like, yeah, we know something's going on outside. And I am just going to adhere one end of this ribbon right about there. Whoops, doesn't want to stick. And just wrap it around the front. And try to get it as straight as possible. And there we go. So I think that's pretty good. All right. And then I'm going to adhere this panel onto the card front with Stampin' Dimensionals. Better put them back where I know I can find them again, huh? Get our dimensional covers off here. So our weather here finally got nice. It's not extremely warm. It's about 68 degrees, but the sun is out. And whenever the sun is out, it's always a good thing, because it has been cool and dreary and rainy. So I'm very glad the sun is out. So I want to offset this panel, so it's going to hang over the white edge of this embossed panel. And I just want to make sure that I get it fairly centered. There we go. I think that's straight. Let me hold that up before I completely mash it down. I think maybe needs to come up just a little bit on this side. Let me see if I can pull it up without completely destroying my card here. That looks a little better. Okay, that will do it. And then as I mentioned, I had pre-stamped my flowers for my card front. So I've got 3 of the large flowers, and then I stamped 4 of the flower sprigs in Lost Lagoon. So all of these flowers are going to get arranged onto the card front, just kind of in a circle. My card is for the Happy Inkin' Thursday blog hop tomorrow, and we have a sketch challenge for the hop. So this is my card, and I just want to kind of lay these down, not so much these leaves, but definitely the flowers. Let me get my little sentiment lay, but that's going to be pretty good. Okay. And we can go ahead and start adhering the flowers down. And I'm only putting adhesive in the center of these flowers, just so that I can leave room to tuck in the leaf stems. So make sure you're leaving yourself a little bit of room. If you need to tuck the leaves in. Alrighty, and then we can go ahead and just go ahead and fit these leaves in around. Yes, Tara, the DSP is exceptionally pretty in that delightfully eclectic pack. I was pleasantly surprised too. I agree, Faith. Lemon Lolly and Bubble Bath are such soft, pretty colors. I'm not a pastel person. Well, let me put it this way. I like soft colors. I just don't wear them. I tend to be more of a fall person. But yeah, they just are so beautiful. And I find I use Lemon Lolly ink and cardstock a lot since it's come out. All right. Let me see. I went to kind of overlap that one a bit. I don't know why the comments aren't scrolling today. They usually do. Guess we can't have everything, huh? And one more, I think, over here on this side. And we are almost done. My husband just came home from work. I don't think he realized I was doing a video. That's all right. Okay, I'm going to pop my sentiment up with Stampin' Dimensionals. And sometimes I fight these Stampin' Dimensionals. The backing wants to stick to the dimensional. There we go. All right, I'm just going to kind of tilt the card up so I have a chance of getting my sentiment on the card somewhat straight, hopefully. We'll see how I do. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So that is the card front. I have some rhinestone basic jewels here. They're one of my probably favoriteest embellishments. And this is a dark shade of Berry Burst Stampin' Up. And I am going to color 5 of the smallest rhinestones with my Stampin' Blend. And we'll just give those a minute to dry, but those will go onto the card front here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get my inside panel glued up. And I have a Bubble Bath mat. And this is a smaller panel than normal. And I just cut this panel to size to mimic the small panel on the front of the card. So I'll have the same amount of reveal around my card base. But pretty colors together, aren't they? Go ahead and get this glued up inside. Mother's Day weekend coming up. I hope all you moms get to do something enjoyable. I think we're cooking out on the grill. Well, my husband's cooking out on the grill for Mother's Day, I think. So that'll be a nice treat. He always cooks great stuff. Alrighty, so there's the inside of our card. And let me get I have a coordinating piece of DSP for the envelope flap. Azure afternoon. Thanks for confirming, Tara. And thank you, Akika. Appreciate it. And Mary. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Get that nice and pressed down, and grab my scissors here and trim away the excess paper, and we are almost done here. Oh, I'm not almost done. I have to tie a bow. Uh-oh. Hopefully I can get that on the first try. Okay, there we go. So where is my ribbon here? Let me see if I can get a bow on the first try. We'll see. I think I didn't leave myself a long enough tail. This ribbon actually ties pretty nice. Yeah, how about that? Wow, I got lucky. I'm just going to trim my ends down here with my ribbon scissors. If you don't have a dedicated pair of ribbon scissors, I highly recommend that you get a pair. Comes in handy instead of chopping your pretty ribbon up when you shouldn't. Let me just grab a mini glue dot and to adhere the bow on with. Put our rhinestones on the card front and we are done. Gee, I might be getting better at this half an hour video thing, huh? I better not say anything, I'll jinx myself. Get that put on. Let me count my glue before it completely dries up. And we'll get some rhinestones on the card front. I generally, if I have flowers on my card, I generally I like to put the rhinestones, tuck them in around the flowers or leaves. That's just me, you know. You can put your rhinestones where you want, but I kind of like to tuck them in around the flowers. But look how well coloring these rhinestones with berry burst shows up. I just think it's so pretty. But that is our card for today. Well done. And I think Mom would be very tickled to receive such a card. Life is sweeter with you. And we are all set. I'm offering double honey dropper points up until Friday the 12th. So if you place an order with me, you know, you can read more about my rewards program at inkystampers.com and click on the customer rewards tab to learn more. But yeah, I'm offering double points right now, so get your orders in. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I will be back next Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern. And wish you all a great rest of the day. Enjoy, and I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.